Grand Rising, it's your sister from another Mr. Lovely Fly Shy, back with another video. I hope all is well. Everything is everything on my end. I'm just basically just doing some self-reflecting actually. I've been I always self-reflect, but particularly today, just a lot of things have been, clicking. There has been a lot of confirmation that I have made within myself. And as I progress in my journey of life and the various experiences that I will face, whether good or bad, I now realize truthfully and wholeheartedly that it's merely up to me whether, the outcome is good or bad. How I choose to react and respond to whatever it is that I'm going through at the time. And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, I believe my awakening, this is a little off subject and a quick sidebar, but I want to share this with you all because I think it's important to kind of make sense of our timelines and make sense of the events, the major events that, really shape us into who we are today. I think it's important to kind of have some type of chronological order in which those memories are kept. More so that's how I have to deal with it. But anywho, I started realizing though, I was like, my awakening began back in 2016. And when I think about the year 2016, that was a very rough year for me now that I look back on it, you guys. And I share that because I know that there are things that you all may look back on and you may think, because you've just gone on unconsciously and just continued on with this hamster wheel of confusion and delusion and illusion, right? And so we think that, oh well, I'm healed from that, or I overcame that, I don't necessarily have to face that. But the truth of the matter is, as I reflect on that year, I'm like, whoa, there was a lot that happened that year. That year was very substantial in terms for me, just having a better understanding of this world around me. But because I was still heavily in the world though, although I don't regret my journey at all, I do realize that I probably would have been a lot more further, not only in consciousness, but in terms of elevation and growth and things of that nature, had I kept on then when the initial works were taking place within me, when the deprogramming was happening, when the deconditioning, when the bringing things, the most important things that make me, bringing those things up to the surface and actually dealing with them or beginning to make sense of them. That was a big time of my life when I started making sense of a lot of things. But anywho, so some of what I'm going through in these instances and in these experiences that I'm facing, I realize that I'm going through them either a second, third, or fourth and fifth for other, situations. I'm going through it because there was something I didn't learn the first time. There was something that I did not receive, and I do believe I am receiving that something right now in this present moment. I really do believe that. One of the biggest and most important components of this all is just mastering self-care and really pouring into ourselves and giving ourselves tender love and care. It's very important, and that's one thing that has been preoccupying my time in terms of, or in addition, with coming up with a master plan. I asked God for the vision. I already had the vision, but I had to get some confirmation and the extra push of will and determination. And now that I have that, I guess you could say, fire set upon me, or just that unwavering urge to just go, to just soar and to never look back. I was writing notes to myself earlier, and I wrote, God doesn't want us to suffer. However, we are expected to endure in order to build our faith. And I'm truly seeing the ramifications of that in physical form. You see, I've endured all my life, it seems. I really have. And what went on this year and what chapter I feel like I am in this current season is healing. Reflecting on and bringing things to the surface that have hindered me in many ways, and actually dealing with those things, addressing them, and just, sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call. I actually have my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I'm just really confused as to how the call went through anyways. My apologies. I don't mean to get all upset on camera, but it's like when I'm really getting passionate into my message, it's like it's always something. But you all know the motto: we shall proceed anyways. We shall proceed. But yeah, like I was saying, the healing has truly begun. You all have heard me mention how, I'm in the process of writing a book, and the irony of it all, because it's funny, because I started writing this book when I was 17 years old, and I'm going to give you all the quick backstory of what inspired me to write the book. So ever since I was a little girl, I was an avid reader and writer. I loved to read. Some of my favorite book series were all of the Junie B books. I've read all of them. In fact, even at 26 years old, I plan to create my own rendition of a antique collection of all of the books. I read The Boxcar Children. I was really, really hooked and hip to that series. I believe Gertrude Chandler wrote those. So yeah, like I said, I was just an avid reader. I loved reading. It was like as if everything that I had been subjected to and all of the problems that I was having at home, it was as if they didn't exist when I picked up a book and I started reading. Reading and writing became my escape. And through writing, that's how I was able to express myself. Through writing, that's when I found that, I had this gift and this special talent, and, I really wanted to go forth with it. But it took at the age of 17, my senior year of high school, and my teacher, if you know, I know it's in God's plans because I already foresee it, but her name was Miss Emma Rubin. Shout out to Emma Rubin. She was just a huge inspiration and just that catapulting me into my purpose and into, well, number one, actually into me believing in myself and believing that I even had a purpose, that I even had a talent, that I was even actually somebody, you know, because I always felt like I was seen, but I was not heard because I didn't make myself heard to anyone, right? And not in the authentic sense, that is. But anywho, yeah, so, you know, she was my English teacher, and she would have us do all of these different activities. And my dad actually has the box, because I have like a big box with all of my memorabilia in it that contains just books, all of my journals and my diaries that I've collected since I was like a kid. So I can just easily go back and, you know, read those diary entries and read those journal entries and things. And, you know, really, it's fascinating, honestly, because I have a whole recording of my life, you know. But anywho, I have like a stack of the papers that, you know, she would grade, and she would put these wonderful and these beautiful notes on my work when she'd received my writing assignments. And she would just tell me, like, you know, Shira Love, she'd say, you know, you are a phenomenal writer. You are a fantastic writer. I love this story, and things like that, you know. And, you know, that lit a fire under me, hearing that. You know, coming up, I used to hear often, you know, that I wasn't going to be anything, you know, that I'd be a failure, this, that, and the other, that the enemy and the naysayers attempted to speak over my life. But you know what? God had another plan over my life, you know. And so that woman truly, truly inspired me, you all. You don't understand how just a simple, kind word, simply uplifting a person and simply giving them that clarification. You know, if you're a highly sensitive person, if you're an empathetic person, you know, just giving that person that empathy and that push and that motivation to open up their eyes and see who they really are. You know, that meant the world to me. So I say all that to say, I know that was like y'all know black folk, we say we gonna make it short, but we gonna make it as short as we could probably make it. And that one's short, but I think that was very important to include, because again, it just takes someone reminding you who you are, and someone just rooting you on and simply letting you know that, you know what, I know you've been through a lot, I can see it, but I can also see greatness in you. I know that greatness awaits you. And like I said, with all of the beautiful notes she would write on my assignments, you know, I kept that stuff. That stuff's memorabilia for me. I keep all of my pictures. I'm really big on that because, you know, I like looking back on my memories. I have a photographic memory as is, but I like to look back on things that, you know, mean the most to me in that regard. But yeah, so in the book, I'm actually going to share the title with you all because, I don't know, God is calling me to, but the book is titled Broken Souls Rise Together, Silent No More. And the way that I chronicleize the book is it's not only just a memoir, but I want to break it down into a 3-book series. So the first book would be Silent No More. The second book would be The Healing Has Begun, which is the chapter I feel I'm in right now. And then the third and final book, until I come up with another, well, that wouldn't be the third and final, but like, let me not say too much because I'm gonna get tongue-tied and confused. So anyway, the third book is gonna be Officially a Woman. So I expect to do that probably sometime in my 30s, child. Yeah, I'm only 26, so but I'm certainly in this stage and in this period of the healing has begun, because you know I thought that I lost the passion. I thought that I lost that fire, but baby, I didn't lose it. And I'm allowing moments like these and situations like these to propel me and to ignite and energize me and to give me that push to, no matter what, continue to move and press forward. You know, that is what this is about. And so I just been writing notes to myself. I've been writing notes. I'll give you guys the names. I'll give you guys a little like sneak peek of what I was saying, but like not the names, but the titles to some of my notes was like plans to begin execution of businesses and what I plan to do and bring forth here in the conscious community. But I want to bring something forth in the physical. But stay tuned. God only lets me say a little bit, you know, because everybody's eyes and ears is open. And, you know, everybody don't want to see me win. Everybody don't want to see the chosen ones win and prosper. But you know what? What's done is done, because none of this was in vain. None of it was. And so I'm just really grateful and thankful to have had this this breakthrough, and I guess you could say this breakdown, which led to my breakthrough, because it seems like one thing after another, but God is like not trying to punish me. You know, you guys have to realize that when we're going through situations like this, it's not that God wants to punish us or he wants to see us suffer, or just because we're believers and just because we want to assist with the awakening of others, that doesn't mean that our lives are just about to be peaches and cream. We're going to get like the most attacks. You know, we're going to have some of the most problems and trouble, but that also means that we need to surrender to the fact that even in the midst of it all, we shall prosper and we shall triumph in the end, you know? And that's what I believe, and that's why I've been so confident and lighthearted during the situation, because, you know, like I said, I'm like, I was talking to God earlier and I'm like, dang God, just 2 years ago today during this time, I was enduring the same situation. And God was just basically like, you know, I brought you back here for a reason, but now it is up to you to give me the permission to actually work through you. You know, actually heal you, actually restore you and renew you, you know. And I am accepting the renewal of my mind. It is beautiful, because in renewing my mind, I am renewing my spirit. I am, you know, healing my soul. That's what this is about. We're not supposed to hang on to these traumatic or, you know, frightful situations such as these, or, you know, anything we may have went through in the past. We're just supposed to learn from it and become stronger from it. And I know that's not easy for everyone, but I want to let you know that here very soon, through God and through what he is using me for, and how he's using me as a beacon of love and light and inspiration to you, just know that, you know, if you need a shoulder or an ear, you know, you'll have me to lean on. You know, you guys see firsthand what it is that I'm going through. But God, God said earlier, I'm going to make, through you, I'm going to make some believers out of them folks. And I was like, what? I was like, who are you talking about? I kind of had an idea, but I was like, oh, okay, God, okay. God got a sense of humor. I'm telling you guys, God don't play. You know, ever since I read, I believe it was in Matthew, excuse me if it wasn't, but when God went in there and flipped that table over, and he was like, why are you making my father's house into a market? And every time I hear that, and it may not be word for word, y'all, I'm still a little baby, I don't want to say baby Christian, because I try to separate myself from the religious dogmas, but I like the fellowship and just the basic understanding and the universal laws of life. And I just like to have something tangible to refer to, right? But yeah, he walked up to that place and he threw them tables over, and he's like, why are you making my father's home into a market? I was like, tell him, God, tell him. Like, he was not playing with them at all. So, you know, not only does he have a sense of humor, but God don't be playing with us. I'm telling you. That's why I was like, God, yeah, this is your second time putting me through this. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be a third time, God. It ain't gonna be no third time. I'm telling you that right now. It is not gonna be a third time, because this is something else. But I'm very thankful and grateful in advance. You guys don't even understand, because I know what God is doing in my life and is doing in your lives. I know it is bigger than anything that we may be going through or have gone through this year. You know, as I reflect back and think back on this year alone, I'm just like, oh my God, your girl done went through it. It was like I felt like I got delivered from something, then I got right placed back into it. So now the deliverance had to proceed and begin again, right? But I certainly feel as though I got it this time. I do. I really do, because I don't want to repeat any of this ever again. And if God says the same, I will not, because I shall prosper from today and for the rest of my days. You know, and so will you. And I hope through these situations that I share with you all, and these videos that I make for you guys, I hope that you all find your own inner strength and you realize how powerful you really are. And you realize the multi-dimensional being you truly are. You aren't just a mere human. God says, what's a mere human? When you got the kingdom of God on your side, what is a mere human? So, you know, reflect, you all, journal, write it out, whatever's on your mind, whatever is weighing and tugging at your heart, write it out, make it plain. If you have a dream, if you have a goal, you better, the time to do it is now, you guys. I'm telling you, I'm serious. I feel something great. It is just, only time will tell. I don't want to make this video super long, but I will be making another video. So